In this video, I VOD reviewed a couple of the ranked games I played today to look through my mistakes, what I did well, what I could do better, and hopefully explain my decision making and help you guys as well. Hope you enjoy the video. Have a good day. Welcome back to another VOD review video. Let's get right into it. So, top lane, we got tank versus tank. Well, Mordekaiser's not exactly a tank, but he's kind of a bruiser tankish. There's decent setup in this lane. Ornn isn't that good at escaping. He has some mobility, but if Mordekaiser lands E, Ornn will probably die. Mid lane is two artillery mages. Jungle matchup is, I think, slightly losing early. Volibear is very strong, but I definitely outscale, and in skirmishes I can do a lot more than him, depending on the environment. And then bot lane, we have Israel Sona versus MF Seraphine. So there's like very little kill pressure in this lane. At 6, when Seraphine R comes in and Sona R comes in, it becomes more possible to find kills in this lane, but generally there's not really going to be kills bot. So this game, I opt to start bot side and path up. Oops, didn't mean to select. There we go. Alright. And I did get this Raptor award, so we see the Volibear clear. He appears here, 12 CS at 230, which is actually crazy. He is so far ahead of me in his clear. I didn't expect that. But obviously we know he's topside, so I ping my top laner. He crashes a third wave and then just kind of chills out and lets his wave bounce. This is definitely a big mistake for me. So right here, I think my mistake is that I'm not considering if the enemy team is trying to punish me. I don't know if Volibear knows my clear. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But the main thing is that mid is missing as the waves are meeting. If Zoe's still missing when the waves are doing this, she's definitely doing something. So as soon as I should have been like probably pulling this way. Honestly, I just shouldn't be going for this crab straight up. This is a crab that I should be giving. Because I don't really have top prio, and I definitely don't have mid prio. So I think the correct thing for me to do is, as soon as I see this mid wave state, or more like mid lane state overall, like as soon as I see this, I should know I'm giving this grab. So this is mistake number 1 in this game, not giving the grab. Should have given the grab. I do get my full clear though, so all my camps are sequencing. I know Volibear is going to be a thought grab, so I kind of want to look for a gank here if there's an opportunity, but there isn't an opportunity, and my weak side camps start to spawn, so I go to those. I'm on my camps right as they spawn, so I am going to have to wait a couple seconds at each camp, which is a little awkward. But I finished my full clear. Now, also, even if I didn't have this ward, I would know that Volibear and I are both doing this. Both of our clears are basically the same, and we're both kind of converging on this area of the map. So I know Voli is topside. Let's see. I ping it a couple of times to my top laner, but probably not enough. 2 pings is not really sufficient to say like, hey, jungler is around. He does walk up and ward. As soon as he finds that ward, I start running to the lane. But I'm a little bit too late. He gets CC'd to death, can't even get his ult off. So that sucks. Tragic for top lane, gets Volibear more ahead. Yeah, I should have been pinging earlier. Like, right here, I should be spam pinging him to ward, because he's in danger right now. And I know Volibear is in this area, so I should just spam ping my Mordekaiser to ward somewhere in here a few seconds earlier than he did. But he did make a little bit of a mistake by E-ing the Volibear instead of ulting. If he ulted, he might have been able to catch one or maybe turn it 1v2. But I also needed to be like, so I think the 2 mistakes for me here are 1, not pinging more that he needs to ward, and 2, the fact that I run like this is a mistake, I think, because I know that like Volibear doesn't have a mid gank opportunity, so I don't actually need to cover this area. but he obviously does have a top gank opportunity because of where the wave is. So at a minimum, I should be recalling like here, not here. Because if I was recalling here, I can make it in and potentially stall a second, maybe find an R to save my Mordekaiser. But the summation of all these mistakes is that my top laner dies. Take my recall, go bot to get on my weak side camps. I want to look for something, but Zoe came down and killed my bot lane. So I just kind of eat their wave. Can't go for Crab because Zoe's there, Volibear's there. Voli tries to invade red, can't get it, gets pushed off, but we can't really find anything because we have Sona, so we have no CC. And now there's nothing for me to do, so I just start clearing my camps. Even though top lane isn't in an amazing spot, top lane is still the lane I kind of want to play around. And yeah, so start taking grubs. See the Volibear is ganking top, so I immediately move. Mord gets an R off. We kill Volibear. Ornn lives. And then we have this long extended fight where Ornn dies as well. So I'm kind of back in the game now. I'm basically even with the Volibear. I should have my Kraken Slayer here, I think. Yep. I've spent the last 6 months combining everything I know about jungling into a 23-episode course, designed to teach you everything you need to know to smash your ranked goals and become a high elo jungler, covering everything from early pathing and creating a game plan to the fundamentals of playing the map in the mid and late game. So if you're ready to take control of your rank today, check out the link in the description. So what do I think Volibear is going to be doing now? I know that Volibear did this, which means that when he dies topside, he's going to be at base, he's going to run back to bot. So, stands to reason, he's probably going to run to bot and take dragon, and then clear his camps. I don't really want to play bot side, my bot's losing. Seraphine is kind of just a better version of Sona, she does more early. I don't really like Sona, I don't like playing with that champion. So, come up, take the mark, and then I eat the grubs. And then I go into my top side. Voli has no gank opportunity bot, no gank opportunity mid. He will have a gank opportunity top if he was here right now, but he's not, so my top's safe. He does gank a little bit after the peak opportunity, but my Mord stalls, so I come up, kill the Volibear again. Zoe makes a mistake here, get a nice shutdown on her. And now we've taken this like very, very bad game state and we've actually really recovered it. The gold is basically even. We are down 2 kills, but we're up grubs, so we'll get probably a small plate advantage. But it doesn't exactly go like that. If you look down here at the the kills in this game, it doesn't go great. So let's look at the part that didn't go so well. So far, my 2 mistakes have been trying to contest this top crab when the enemy mid had priority, and not recalling closer to the lane that was actually under threat from the enemy jungler. Those are my 2 mistakes. My bot dies. I can't really kill their bot lane. Maybe, actually, can I? If I don't see Volibear, it's too risky for me to try to 2v2 here. So before, like, right now it's too dangerous because I know that Voli is going to be bot side as well because his bot camps are spawning. When he shows mid here, maybe I can now go look, but I still think it's very risky. I think it's too risky to look. I'm kind of looking mid to help my mid, but he dies. And I come in. Honestly, at this point, I think this mid laner is just total dog shit, so I'm just trying to like get as much resources onto me as possible. So I push this wave. This is not amazing for mid lane, honestly, because Zoe still got like half the wave and Xerath got none. So it might have been better for me to just leave it, but now he does this pretty questionable bot roam when my ADC dies. But let's not look at the team. Let's focus on the jungle pathing. So after I'm mid, let's see. Do we have vision on Volibear? Yes. Okay. So I crash the mid wave, and then I walk into topside to contest Volibear's third spawn of his red buff. And I'm doing this because my top laner has priority, and I know he can walk over. So he walks over, we grab the red, and then we just walk it out because we know Zoe's coming. We'll doze towards topside, we're out. Herald spawning soon, and so is Dragon. So I want to look for something. My ADC swaps to mid. This Zoe is like a total like nightmare to be against at this point. This game is like very fucked. So here is another mistake. I see the Volibear on here. I don't realize that the Zoe is behind me, but once again, the mistake I'm making is I'm not respecting mid prio. So like if we go back 15 seconds, we see Zoe has priority. We don't see where she walks, but it stands to reason. There's a 50% chance she's going to walk down and into my jungle. So in my mind, I should see there's no mid laner, therefore I need to be careful of Zoe from this area. But I don't do that, so I get hit by this bubble. And then I flash, but Volley Flash Qs me, and I don't R before he autos, so I die. So that's actually the second time I die to not respecting the Zoe's priority. Now the game is kind of back to being pretty rough. I do have a bit of a lead, but I'm only up like 500 gold. And outside of my top laner, my whole team is very behind. My mid is down 1.5, my bot is down 2,000. So the game is pretty rough. Yeah, I'm looking topside because my Mort is still like fairly strong. I do think he's stronger than Ornn, and I think we win 2v2 topside. So I'm trying to find something here because like we have to find something. If we just do nothing at this point, the game will just we'll just lose slowly. So we can't just wait. We gotta look for some mistake. This doesn't end up looking that good. We almost find a pick on the Zoe, but she just flashes, then my top laner dies to the MF, and I kind of just clear my camps and escape. It's really important to die as little as possible, especially in a game like this, because each time I die, the probability of winning and the ability to win significantly drops, because I lose so much tempo and farm time. In here, they took Atacon, so as soon as we lose... Oh no, it's just Herald, not Atacon. That's a different game. As soon as they take Herald, my immediate thought is, what can I cross-map in exchange for the Herald? So I'm running down, I skip my red, and I portal to the blue. I'm hoping... I think I have like 2 marks here. How many marks do I have? Yeah, I have 2 marks. So what I'm actually hoping for is that there's a Gromp here, and it will just become a mark as I'm here. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So what I end up just doing is taking the blue. Then I come down here, kind of trading with the Ornn a little bit. Once again, I'm not really considering that I don't have mid prio, so there are enemies above me. Actually, the third depth to that same mistake, not respecting mid priority. And now, like, my lead's gone, the game is over, pretty much. We kind of just, like, slowly get run over. This game, my mid was an auto-filled support main, and then he got destroyed, and then I died to his lane, and then he died to his lane, so it was pretty bad. I mean, I guess I gave Zoe an assist, but that's still not great. But yeah, we try to find something, can't really find anything. And then we just F5. Alright, on to game 2. Alright, looking at the draft for game 2. Rengar versus Kindred. Rengar is kind of a hard matchup. Not too big of a fan of this one. He kind of beats me in 1v1s at most stages of the game unless I get ahead. And in this game, I do opt into building Bruiser because it generally feels like I can't really, like, it's very hard for me to DPS this team against Braum, Malphite, Rengar, and like 2 high range champions. Like, I can't really auto attack Ezreal most of the time, and Azir is also pretty hard to auto attack without tanking his soldiers. But on my team, I have Veigar, which is really good against this dive. I have Darius, who's also pretty good against dive, and then my bot lane is also good against dive. But they might struggle a bit because Ezreal Braum does have a lot more range. So in this game, I expect my top laner to win. I think the bot has some volatility to it because there's CC on both sides, though I do have to note that it is pretty hard to kill an Ezreal Braum lane. So I want to keep my CS up and kind of play for bot side and look for opportunities. So once again, every game, ward Raptors at 1 minute to learn the enemy junglers clear and be able to track them. And obviously I'm starting top side because I want to play for bot. Yeah, don't see Rengar on the ward, so don't see him, which means that he started bot side. So as soon as I get to my Raptors and he didn't show up here, I know that he is doing, he's basically just clearing up. So ping the top side so my top laner knows, so my mid laner knows, and I just clear down. My bot is push, so I go for the crab. And I know that obviously Rengar's at the top crab, so I'm not even going to bother looking for this. But then something kind of weird happens. Rengar does this. So immediately when this happens, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to press tab. I'm going to look at his CS. He has 24 CS and he's level 4, which means that he cleared all 6 of his camps, but he has not cleared the crab. So that means I get to double crab here. Rengar's here, and I assume he's just recalling in this bush probably. Yeah. I'm playing a little care here. I am scared of the Rengar for sure. So right here, from my perspective, he could be walking in here. So I just hop into this bush so that I can see if he comes around the corner, and he doesn't. I hide for a sec to make sure, and then I take the Grom. And now I do have a bit of a tempo advantage on the Rengar, so I will be done clearing my top side before he's done clearing his bot side by a decent amount. So right now he's probably starting to hit his Gromp. Yep, and I've already cleared both of my camps, so I have about 2 camps of tempo advantage. Braum looks mid. I walk over just to make sure my Veigar is safe. Flash on Azir, kill Azir. They overextended here. Like, this is actually, this occurrence right here is the result of Rengar wasting or like overstaying his tempo topside. So because he spent so much time here, he was way slower to clear his camps, which meant that I was near mid to contest this fight while he's all the way over here. Whereas if he had better tempo, he could be on Raptors while this fight's happening. And this fight is happening basically at my Raptors, so I would still be there first. But it would be a lot easier for him to impact this play. But as it stands, he's on like between these 2 camps and he's just too far to impact it. So this is basically the tempo balancing act of his time spent, like, this is the punishment of him standing in the topside bush for 50 seconds. Because he doesn't have the tempo to impact this play. So, kill mid. Obviously, Rengar just finished Wolves. My top gets a solo kill. I take the Krugs. And my bot has push, Rengar's topside, so Dragon's free. And I assume I'm instantly going to base and go to my weak side. I assume this crab is probably gone. Blue's probably gone too. Obviously from Spectator we know it's gone, but in my mind I know Rengar full cleared. He heard me take Dragon based on the global announcement, so crab's definitely gone, and there's a good chance blue is gone as well. So I'll walk in with my sleeper just to check the bush as I come around the corner. Blue's gone, but Grom's there. Take that. I definitely should be pinging my top laner right now. That Rengar can be topside. Although maybe not, actually. He cleared blue, like, right now. He cleared blue at about 7 minutes, and he has no camps up, so it actually kind of makes sense that he just recalls. He pretty much just took the crab and then backed, and then sprinted to his bot camps. So I guess I don't need to ping my top laner here, because Rengar is not gonna stay on this side of the map anymore. Accidentally reset my Gromp and kind of int my tempo advantage, which feels really bad. Then my mid gets a kill, so I opt to go for grubs. Now, I know that Rengar is probably bot side right now, so in my mind as I'm doing this, as I commit to this Herald play, I'm thinking about two things. One, Rengar's probably in here right now, and what are his options? His options are this, because all three of these camps are up, and his other option is this to kill my bot lane. I don't want him to kill my bot lane, but they have crashed their wave, so they're not really in danger, and I kind of just want to ping my team to ward my bot side, like somewhere around right here. But like, this is what's going through my head as I'm taking these crooks. Or, grubs. My team comes in, helps me out. This is a mistake. I don't realize that my mid laner is recalled. I wish he had spam pinged me a lot more, honestly, because this is insanely grief to do without my mid there. Excuse me. But, like, essentially, if my mid is here right now... wow. I'm actually really griefing. He recalled, like, way before I went for this play. Holy shit. Yeah, this is just super troll of me. I'm not paying attention to my mid. This is a good invade if my mid laner's here, because Azir is forced to eat this wave under tower, and I'm stronger than Rengar, so I can contest him on this camp. And I do actually get the big raptor. It just means that because I have no mid, they just immediately run me down. So this was a mistake because I did not, actually kind of similar to last game, once again, not respecting mid priority. So now I'm going bot side. I don't know where Volibear is, or sorry, Rengar, but I know I want to play for this crab, and my team has pressure, so I can take it, and I obviously extend to that first before doing my own camps. Rengar forces a play top. My top laner kind of trolls here, and ends up dying when he didn't need to. Now I assume Rengar is probably taking my top side, so my Gromp is probably gone. And because of that, I'm just going to opt to invade his bot side. So I end up taking this fight with my team. I'll walk in with Rel. She starts fighting the Braum. I hit the Braum. I Q. Oh, wait. Okay, this Q in was really bad, actually. Okay. So, like, this is a fairly good fight. My bot's a little bit stronger. My MF has full item to Ezreal, like, Trinity Force components. I'm here at a minimum before Rengar is, although Rengar is now stronger than me. So I'm hitting Braum. This is good, this is good. That's super grief. I'm queuing into melee range of the Braum. That was super dumb. If I queued back this way, I live a lot longer. And I think my R is just on cooldown here. So I don't think I die. Yeah, I don't, it's not like I'm gonna live. But honestly, actually, maybe I would live. Because Rengar can't just jump directly onto me if instead of queuing into Braum, I should have just run down this way and played like this range away from the bush. But I wasn't really considering that Rengar could be here, because in my mind, I'm expecting him to be on my Gromp right now. But Rengar makes the right call, and he ends up just diving top down here and then insta-recalling and running back to defend his bot side. However, they do lose the fight. I don't think they get anything else here. Maybe Rel dies. No, he just barely lives. And that whole time, I just get back onto the map, clear my top side, because I want to play for Dragon. And I believe I already have 4 marks. No, I have 2 marks. So right now I know that my mark is either going to be chickens or crab, because Gromp is dead and it can only be one of those things. So I eat the chickens, which means it can only be the crab, but we take a losing fight and we all die. So let's look at why this fight's bad. Boom, right here. Quick snapshot of the positions of the game. So my top laner's here, their top laner's missing, probably somewhere in this area. Their jungler is here. My mid is moving to me. Braum is missing, mid is missing, top's missing. Half the game is missing right now. So it's pretty dangerous for me to be standing here. I think the second, I should have just disengaged right here, especially when I see Braum on the mid wave. This is just greedy. I'm just greeding for this fight. There's no reason for us to do this. I should just be, like, I shouldn't even be in this area. I should be on this crab walking away. But Rengar finds me, and just destroys me and then jumps onto my Vigar and killed him. And then my Darius gets Malphite ulted. And I think Darius does trade something here. But, like, that's not worth. So, like, this fight is bad because we're just numbers disadvantaged. And I think, okay, let's see. Given that my mid is crashing a wave and my top is crashing a wave, I do think this Raptor invade is still fine. I think the mistake is right here. Right here, I should just be leaving. Mid's missing, top's missing, support's missing. I should just walk away. And then we see Braum here. Just time to go. So, I should have just left this play after Raptors, I think. Get back on the map, look for a bot play. Rengar contests the gank, so we don't do it. I shadow my bot for a little bit, make sure they can't get dove. Nothing really happens. Azir dies so that they don't really have any dive pressure anymore, and I opt to just run topside. And while I was doing that, my Darius walked in and stole the red. So right here, before I do anything, just walk over, grab the red. Now I want to wait for Rengar and then play for his chickens. Let's see. Alright, let's rewind. So this time, obviously I'm looking for a fight here. Let's take a quick snapshot. My top laner's all the way back here, but my mid and support are both with me. So I'm just kind of waiting for Rengar to look for chickens, but there's Braum, there's Azir, there's Malphite walking down. They clearly have a ward somewhere. Let's see, where do they see us? Wait, is it just Rengar ult that gave them this vision? That's really annoying. Anyway. Yeah, Rengar fucks me up, then I get Malphite ulted. Then they Azir ult. Rengar just barely lives, very tragic. And, although my team does win here, I think. So, this fight does end up working out fairly well. It's really tragic that the Rengar lives, but I probably should not be looking for this when my top laner is all the way back here. This makes it much more risky, because like the Malphite is here, and we literally have vision of him walking to this. We also see them walking to this, and we do start to back out, but not quickly enough, and we get Rengar. I think right here, I should not have walked into the bush. I should have played range more, and I should have played safer. So, like, instead of going in to try to finish off the Rengar, what I think I should have done is when the cage comes down here and Rengar flashes to the bush, I just walk around this way, and I hit while kiting back this way and standing right next to my Vigar. And then if I do that, this fight's probably winning. Because, like, yeah, we're gonna get ulted here, but like, I'd be with my Vigar right now. I guess the fight's winning anyway, but I should have played it differently mechanically. And then my MF gets bot tower. I initially assumed that this bot crab would be gone, but then Rengar chases down my top laner, so I sprint back to bot side, collect the crab. Is this my 4th mark? Nope, still the 2nd. I was very starved for marks this game. This was a tough game. Because I made in plays pretty much. And then Rengar got fed. Try to find a pick here, can't find it. Rengar dies top lane. Obviously, Rengar being dead, I want to use my tempo advantage to get an objective. So I clear my camps, and then I take Dragon. And this is a pretty decisively winning fight. They are not allowed to contest this. They shouldn't be contesting this. Their jungler is dead. It's 4v5. Maybe they think they can contest it because Veigar's top, but as soon as this TP comes in, this fight is no longer winning for them. They have no chance here. Even if Azir doesn't fuck up, this is always still losing. But Azir dies, Malphite dies, they're all dead. Now I have nothing to do bot side, and I want to go top side, and I'm on probably a bunch of gold, so I take a recall. Actually wasn't that much gold, but still good to take the recall and just spend as much as I can. Because like, walking from here to here is a pretty similar distance from walking here to here. This is obviously, like, recalling is obviously slower than walking from Dragon to Grubs, but it's only slower by like 10 or 15 seconds. So it's worth it if I can buy like 50 more AD. Or not 50, but like 20, 30. So immediately pull up, grab the Herald. Look for his chickens, don't find the chickens, go back. I probably shouldn't be looking for this invade anyway because my support recalled and my fed Veigar isn't with me, and I'm pretty weak and useless on my own. My top laner gets collapsed on. I just barely managed to go up there and save him, but we do lose this tower. Our carry is the Veigar. Veigar's not here, so it's pretty hard for us to fight. So we just don't need to take the risk, we don't take the fight. We ward Atacon to make sure they're not taking it, and then I go eat my bot side. Now my team's walking up. We see Rengar top, and my top laner dies. Let's see. Could he have died here? Is this a reasonable death? Nah, I think this is actually pretty brief. So, looking at the map state, mid's crashing a wave, but MF is just hanging around mid lane. Rel is also mid, like, she's kind of walking towards top, but she's not, like, synchronized with Darius. So Darius is just walking up completely by himself. I would say, actually, both of these guys are making the same mistake right now. They're both walking up without vision on the Rengar. Maybe Veigar can probably just, like, one-shot the Rengar by caging nicely, but Darius, like, neither of them are actually allowed to step up like this with the lack of vision that we have. So as soon as they cleared these waves that they killed here, they should have just backed off. But then that gets my top laner killed, and my Rel dies there as well. And now, obviously, Atacon is guaranteed to be gone. So I just sprint bot to collect the Grump. And I grab Wolves as well to cross map. Israel dies mid. Actually, both ADCs die mid. And my fed Veigar's here, so I drop the Herald. And we take 2 towers. So, kind of similar to the Herald play in the last game. The enemy team drops a mid wave. Like this wave is here. We clear their wave quickly. They're obviously contesting us top side, but mid towers are a lot more important. And we have Herald and 3 grubs, so this is like a super hard winning push. My team should absolutely never have been fighting top. It's super stupid that they did that. My Darius and my Rel should not have fought or died there. That's just completely ridiculous. But I do walk in here because I see them recalling from topside. Take the Raptors. Take the mark. I think this actually ends up being a little awkward because I Q this and then Rengar's here. So he stopped his recall and ran over to take the crab. But we just didn't really interact with each other there. I just walked it out. I actually assumed my wolves would be gone here, so I didn't look for them, but it doesn't seem like he took them. But now dragon spawning, so I'm going to go bot side with my team. Taking a snapshot of the map. This top wave is slow pushing out. The reason we know it's slow pushing this way is because the waves are even, and because of the even minion rule, if waves are even, it will always push towards the opposite side that it's on, because the blue side wave will get here first, which means that one or two of these casters will survive when all of these die, and then the next wave, the blue wave, will have an extra caster or two. So we have top prio, and bot wave is basically even. So as we're fighting this, we make sure not to drop the mid wave, so we don't lose control. And then they don't really have a way to start a fight on us without Malphite, and Malphite fucks up. So we just play a quick, slow fight here. Azir barely lives, but now they're like super fucked in the fight. We chunked them all out. We killed the Malphite. My Rel does die, but I believe they use Rengar R to do that. Yeah, that's the usage of Rengar R. Ult. Rengar ult was used to kill the support, so not bad. But also low-key, holy shit, Rengar does a stupid amount of damage to kill that Rel there. She was like 70% HP. So we're just playing slow here. My Veigar is insanely strong. He ends up just walking up and ulting the Ezreal. Rengar jumps in, so I get off the dragon to kill the Rengar. In this situation, like, all we're doing is we're hitting the dragon to force them to walk into us if they want to contest it. And then as soon as they walk into our range, we just turn and hit them. And here, like, these two are trolling. Honestly, they should never be contesting this dragon, straight up. But we take those. So, obviously, dragon, or like, they all die, so I'm gonna go invade the camps and get to take the mark. Then I recall. Excuse me. And now we want to play for topside and Baron. So, while my team's getting set up on the map, I'm gonna take my camps. Looks like I make a bit of a mistake here. This is a mistake from... Okay, so Veigar gets jumped on by Rengar. He survives, but he's very low. I should never be walking back into auto that blue. This blue is getting given. But even at this point, it's still kind of okay. But then my MF walks in to auto attack the Rengar and gets Azir ulted. And then I go in to try to save the MF, and I have to burn my R. And then I just die. So in this scenario, or like in this situation, I needed to... My only goal was to save my Veigar, and as soon as Veigar survived, I should have just completely backed off and not fought. It was a mistake to keep fighting. Darius kills Malphite, but it's kind of fucked. Baron's gone. There's nothing they can really do. But Veigar can nuke the waves pretty easily, so that's just what he's doing. They're looking for a pick here. Don't really find anything as your tower goes down, but they're just kind of nuking the Baron waves. And like right now, as soon as we lose Baron, all we need to do is wait it out, because we're at Soul Point and we are actually still ahead in this game. So as long as we just wait out the Baron and contest Dragon, like, we're in a solid spot. What the fuck is that sound? Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. Back to the bot review. Okay. So here I'm shadowing my Veigar so that Rengar can't kill him. And Rengar presses R and walks back, but Veigar drops the cage. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, yeah. Let me like trade a hit with the Rengar, because he can't just jump on me and one-shot me through this cage that I'm standing in. and then obviously he just one-shots me and doesn't get CC'd. I don't exactly understand why he didn't get stunned here. Maybe he W'd it and I just didn't see it. But whatever. It's correct for me to stand in here because I need to shadow my Vygar, because we did see Rengar around here. Right here, I should auto him, and then I should probably just Q the wall and press W in the bush for vision, and then stand over here. I should never be trading any hits with the Rengar when he's actually able to return damage to me. So yeah. So like, that's a big mistake. Then this kind of awkward bot sequence happens. My Darius just barely kills Azir, but then dies to Ezreal. And I got a little scared here, because they had Baron. But fortunately, my Vygar was able to defend. And then I respawned, was able to come in and save my Vygar, just to make sure he didn't die. Rengar jumps in and does kill him, but then I kill Rengar. And we kill the Braum. And now they've all died right before Dragon spawns, so we have successfully waited out the Baron, and now it's time to get Soul. I mean, saying waiting out the Baron when I died is... it didn't exactly wait out the Baron, but, you know, it is what it is. Then we find this top lane pick, kill Azir. And now I think Baron's up in 2 or 3 minutes. So that's kind of the next thing we're looking for, but there isn't really anything to do until then, so we just want to get some pressure, get some vision topside. Okay, yeah, this was a, like, horrendous mistake from me. So, like, we're walking up with the wave, and I'm like, alright, we're really strong, we're as 5 here, let's get some vision. So I fucking Q this wall, and then there's just 3 people in the bush and I get one shot. I should never be queuing this wall. Rel or Darius need to be doing this. It's not me that should be doing that. I should never be the one face-checking the bushes. Super brief. If my Vygar hadn't clutched up, I would have lost this game for sure. But, Baron's gone. So they don't really have, like, that much push. Vygar can clear the waves. We don't even lose the inhib. But we have no control and Baron is spawning. So we walk in for the red, which is probably a mistake because now we're at Baron late. We couldn't really get into it. They're kind of just zoning us. Actually, wait, hold on. So right here, we don't actually know if they're on Baron or not. So this is kind of scary. We see 3 of them, but we don't see Ezreal or Rengar. So we're not sure if they're hitting the Baron. Now we see Ezreal, so it's less risky. Malphite gets a big ult. My MF gets a decent ult, but then Rengar is fucking on wolves, so she just instantly dies. I get pushed away by the Azir and flash out, but everyone dies. I thought we might have lost the game here, honestly, but all they got was Baron. It didn't actually end or anything. Then we get back on the map once these guys respawn. Okay. So, like, they're just clearing waves, trying to eat them as like, far up as possible as they can do safely. Azir overextends a bit, gets CC'd by Rel. Vygar comes in, CC's him, and times the W correctly. Now, obviously, I want to not make the same mistake and jump into the Rengar again, so I'm playing right on top of my team. Rengar presses R, I'm just standing on my Vygar ready to ult. Didn't really find anything. Malphite solo ults me, he dies. Then we kind of just slowly march in, and I think we just end the game here. Or, no. Rengar... This actually gets kind of spooky because Rengar pushes really fast, and we're not exactly threatening the end right now. But I do get the recall through. Vygar gets the recall. We kill Rengar, and then Vygar TVs back to the fight, which they actually already won. And then we just end the game. Or I guess they end the game while I push bot waves. So I think so far my biggest takeaways have been I'm dying a lot to not respecting mid priority specifically. And I'm going for plays that I either don't have the numbers to go for or are just too dangerous to go for given the state of the game. Because this Rengar was just so fed. I think that's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed this VOD review. Check out my jungle guide if you guys want to know the thought process behind the decisions that I make. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.